Hi, I'm Michelle Sterling for Friends of Science Society. I'm down here at the Sunelta LRT station, C-train station in Calgary. And I'd like to talk with you about public transit. Public transit is very important for many people living in a city, but not for everyone. And unfortunately, many city councillors see it as a climate change greenhouse gas emissions solution. By reducing cars, they figure, oh, well, if we expand public transit, we'll have fewer cars driving around the city and therefore we'll reduce our emissions. In theory, that's correct, but they never think about the embedded emissions. Now, the Cato Institute did a report in 2008 referring to the Portland Interstate Rail Line, which is a light rail line. And they found that the embedded emissions, that means all of the equipment, the materials to actually build that line, the embedded emissions were so huge that they would never be recovered in terms of reductions over the course of 172 years. So it's not really a greenhouse gas reduction method when you examine the embedded emissions, which no one ever does. And in that time frame, of course, cars will become more and more efficient, fuel efficient, and we may even come up with cars that run on some other form of fuel. So Robert Lyman is one of our main policy contributors. He was a federal public servant for 27 years and a diplomat for 10 years. And he wrote a report for us called Squandered Money, which looks at the wasted funds invested in public transit if you're in fact investing them to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The equivalent carbon tax ratio is astronomical and the benefits are not accrued according to his study. So have a look at Squandered Money and think about the fact that there are embedded emissions in every form of new, clean, green energy that people are proposing we should switch to. So if you, for instance, switch an internal combustion car for an electric vehicle, there are embedded emissions in that switch. For the electric vehicle, you have to build hundreds of billions of dollars worth of transmission lines and additional power generation. So we don't have enough power generation in Canada for the EV policy that presently exists. And we also don't have any new power plants on the planning table right now. So thoughts that we can change our system around completely in, 8 years now until 2030? They're unicorn thoughts. They're magical thinking. And you, the public, have to put the brakes on this magical thinking, because the risk is that we will get halfway through many of these huge, expensive infrastructure projects and we'll run out of money, or we'll run out of power generation, or we'll find ourselves broke, cold, and sitting in the dark. We've got lots of reports online that address all of these issues. So I invite you to have a look at them and understand a bit more about the complexities of the things that people are proposing that we could do overnight. For Friends of Science Society, I'm Michelle Sterling.